What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in the Khaliis Take. You know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell just so you can get the newest and the bonus content first. But hey, let's just go ahead and jump right in. First off, I want to say the Lakers are not going to go through with this deal. This deal is probably more than likely not going to happen. And I think this would be the worst, trade, acquisition, or whatever type you want to call it. This would be the worst type trade ever if the Lakers did this. Because first of all, there's on Yahoo Sports, there is an article speaking about a potential landing spot for Russell Westbrook. I read a lot of these sites, and I understand a lot of, what they're saying and what they're implementing, but, some of the proposals just really don't make sense to me. Now, me personally, I don't see the Lakers trading Russell Westbrook, a top 75 player, even though he didn't play well last year. And I'll be the first to criticize Russell Westbrook because I have criticized him. I've criticized him probably overly too much in some people's eyes. But, I will say this. I don't see the Lakers trading a Russell Westbrook for a Patrick Beverley on the Utah Jazz. I just don't see that. And if the Lakers are going to do that, that would just be going so far backwards, because even though I like Patrick Beverley. I like the way I do like Patrick Beverley. He's a very straightforward type dude. What I'm saying, play with his heart in the game. What I'm saying, he's definitely motivated when he plays. He motivates himself, and some of his antics are crazy. But he's not on the level of Russell Westbrook. He's not on that level. He's not even remotely close to that level. Russell Westbrook is a top 75 player. I don't know if Patrick Beverley is a top any player in any category. What I'm saying? So my point is, he's not on that level to be traded for somebody like Patrick Beverley, who, can't fill Russ's shoes. What I'm saying? He just can't do that. All respect to Patrick Beverley, and everything. But like I said, he's not on that level, so you can't really put him in that category. And I don't think that would be a justified type trade for the Lakers to do it. The Lakers were going to trade Russell Westbrook, a name like his, even though his name dropped some stock last year because of how he played, and his stock then went down a little bit. I definitely understand that, but at the same time, his stock is still at fair ground because he's a top 75 player. So if the Lakers hypothetically traded, or there was a proposal trade, which can't happen now because Rudy Gobert isn't there, but if there was a proposal trade, for a player on Utah, it would have to be, somewhere of the likes of, a Rudy Gobert, or, maybe even a Donovan Mitchell, or maybe a Jordan Clarkson, somebody like that, on the Utah Jazz. Hell, I'll even go, as far as Mike Conley with a few incentives added on top of it. So this is my point. Like, you got to have, a match when you're talking about trading and all that. So, I mean, really with the Utah Jazz, only thing they'd be able to propose in this type of situation is to give the Lakers Patrick Beverley and a little bit of salary back, probably. That's probably the only thing they can actually offer the Lakers, or, maybe a pick or something like that if they have any left. But this is my point. Like, they don't really have anything to offer to let go of somebody like Russell Westbrook, who should give more value than somebody like Patrick Beverley. I understand Russell Westbrook is not the player he once was. I understand he didn't play remotely close to that last year, except spurts here and there. But at the same time, he is a better player than Patrick Beverley. Patrick Beverley is good, in his own right, but he's not on that level. So what I'm saying is, now if the Lakers want to propose a trade, or to get rid of a piece, now I would say Taylor Horton Tucker for Patrick Beverley, that's probably not the best of trades right there either, but at least it's more remotely close in regards to the player. I mean, Russ is just on Mount Rushmore compared to somebody like, Patrick Beverley. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not all for that. I'm not, going for that. I wouldn't really, if I were the Lakers, I wouldn't even look towards this type of situation because it's not even worth it. If you're going to trade Russell Westbrook, you got to get some type of value back. I mean, like I said, him being a top 75 player, that resonates enough. That resonates enough on, that resonates enough about, what type of player he was or can be or, still is. You see what I'm saying? But Patrick Beverley hasn't shown anybody anything in the NBA of, how great of a player he is, because he's not a great player. He's a really good player. He can, bring a little bit of excitement to a team, a little bit of, bravado or something like that, a little bit of craziness to the team, a little bit of defense as well. But he's not on a level of Russell Westbrook. So I don't think, the Lakers should even entertain this one. Honestly, I think they should just try to keep Russell Westbrook, keep what they have, and kind of go in this season and see what happens. Because if the Russell Westbrook isn't a part of a trade like Kyrie or a part of a trade like a Kevin Durant or somebody like that, it's not even worth that. You see what I'm saying? So I think this is just, the worst proposal by Yahoo Sports. I think they could do better than that. They have to do better than that. This is probably the worst I think I've heard. And, they just got to, the Lakers themselves, they got to understand right now, you're probably not going to get Kyrie Irving. So any other piece out there really isn't worth it. You see what I'm saying? Unless you get Kyrie or somebody of that caliber that Russell Westbrook is technically on, that level, it's a waste. I know they want to get rid of Russell Westbrook a lot. I know they want to get rid of Russ because, the notion is out there, it's been out there. LeBron is definitely looking into Kyrie more now and definitely wants that energy of Kyrie there rather than Russ. And Russ isn't a fit. I mean, he just doesn't fit with the team. He just doesn't fit with what they're trying to do and what they're trying to accomplish. And what they're trying to accomplish is to win a championship. And the only way to do that is to have the right pieces. And Russ really doesn't seem like the right piece because he's not a shooter. He can't stretch the floor and he can't make their offense no more dynamic. You know what I'm saying? He can't make their offense dynamic with him being the third scorer because he doesn't know how to do that. And it might take him too long to learn while other teams are winning and the Lakers are suffering. So, I mean, it's one of those situations where, like I said, I know they want to get rid of Russell Westbrook, but you got to get rid of him for the right price or the right situation or the right whatever it is, not for a situation in Utah where they have nothing to offer you. Donovan Mitchell is about to leave. Rudy Gobert is gone. That's the whole team. That's the whole team right there. There's nobody else besides maybe Jordan Clarkson. But they're not going to deal him because they want him to more or less be a part of their future, apparently. So, I mean, maybe he'll more likely be in the starting lineup now if Donovan Mitchell leaves, you know what I'm saying, or something like that. And then he'll definitely have his time to shine. But this is my point. Like, you got to, make the right moves if you want to win championships. You can't make dumb decisions and give away pieces that, can get you more. And like I said, I know Russell Westbrook is not the player he was a couple years ago, but his value is still high enough to acquire a player like Kyrie Irving, along with a couple incentives. His value, he may not be equally as valuable as he was a few years ago, but if you say, hey, I'll give you Russell Westbrook and maybe, Taylor Horton Tucker or something like that, maybe the Nets might bite on that. Maybe the Nets might go for that and maybe a one pick or something like that because Russ still carries some type of value, but Patrick Beverley doesn't carry hardly any. You see what I'm saying? So, except his main value is with the Clippers. That's where his value is to me. Patrick Beverley's value is with the Clippers. When he left them, I just thought he was, just a guy. You know what I'm saying? He's technically just a guy with the Clippers when he was with them, but he's really just a guy now. So, no, I mean, I don't think that proposal trade would be even worth it. The Lakers don't need to look that way. They need to try to figure out something else or keep Russ and keep what they have and try to go into this season with their new head coach and try to, grind it out and see what happens and see if they can at least make the playoffs. If they can at least make the playoffs, kind of get healthy around that time. Maybe they got, of course, they'll have a little bit more chemistry than what they had last year as a team going into this season, and see what happens, But I don't think they should really even worry about the Kyrie thing or none of that. I think they should just kind of stick with what they have and go forth with it like that because it looks like the Nets are asking for too much and every other team situation really isn't worth it to give away a piece that you're not going to get something in return that LeBron would approve of. So, I mean, it's really a situation of stick with what you got unless you get a deal that's, that you can't refuse and just go from there. But hey, that's my take on everything. Leave any comments in the comment section. Check out my other videos if you haven't. And hey, Khaliis out.